I am here today with Dakota Noot and Christopher Velasco, who host the wonderful Two in the Pinku podcast together. They've done commentaries, video essays, and more for Blu-rays together, and with more to come, I'm sure. They are both heavily active in the LA art scene and community, and not to mention, they are married. Hello. It is so nice to have you guys.
Hello, hello.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, that's us.
I forget we're married sometimes.
Oh my God. You're married to the job. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, the audience will like they're seeing this in the future. They will have just finished watching Woman in a Box, Virgin
Ooh,
Sacrifice.
oh my
And you
gosh.
two are just so passionate about Pinku and Nikatsu that I felt like no one else could contextualize the film that they have just witnessed like you guys they don't maybe know the history like you guys do, so they're probably sitting shaking in their boots a little bit. Maybe this is some people's first nikatsu, like Roman porno period.
Love it. You know what? It's a journey. It's a journey. And we support that.
So I kind of just want to start off maybe for people who aren't familiar with Nikatsu and their Roman porno productions. Like before Roman X in the 70s, where does this first begin for Nikatsu? And why would Japan's oldest film studio make such a leap into pornography?
Wanna-
Oh yeah. Again, so like in the 60s, like film was so struggling so much in Japan that like audiences were going to TV. Also, unless you were like a Toho, like had like a franchise like that families were going to, all the like the adult studios like that were doing dramas, like that was phasing out. Nakatsu, Toei, also Shochiku
Yes, Shatigu.
all turned to like the erotic market too. Like Nakatsu is probably like the most known because like they branded it. It's Roman porno, it's classics, it's spectacle. Toei also had Toei porno as well. And then Shochiku kind of had like their secret line called Dokatsu. But yeah, again, this is what they did to bring audiences back, right? Like, okay, we can't get the kids, let's get the adults.
I
Yes.
got you.
Let's leave. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could add saying like so once like Roman porno was happening, this is 70s, and then we go into the 80s, because adult video started happening in the late 80s, right? That mid 80s to late 80s. That was what happened with Nikatsu was like, oh wow, we are competing. Everybody was kind of falling down, I guess, against adult video. So they're like, hey, let's if we can't beat them, let's join them in that sense. So Roman X started a little before like the actual official line, which is Women in a Box that happened. There was other prequels that happened, so they were kind of testing the waters, you could say. So adult video was like them trying to experiment, and also they had directors like let's see what happens, let's just experiment, right? Because they can get away with some stuff. I think that was what they were kind of playing with, because again in Roman porno there's some inklings of that, like seeing how they could push the limit, but then Roman X and like shot on videos where they're like, let's just go all out.
Right.
That's what happens. So yeah, so that's kind of like the genesis of all
So
that.
you're starting off right with Woman in a Box. I
Woman in
Right.
a box.
get
Jumping right in. What made Nikatsu stand out from other production companies like Toei or the independent, then contemporary companies that were making Pinku?
Nikatsu had the bigger budgets of all of these too. Again, also like Nikatsu is like, oh, let's use our like in-house talent, let's give up money to it. They stole up also to all the pink stars who are popular, like Naomi Tani is from the independent pink scene.
Right.
They're like, okay, we're taking you, we're taking you, we're taking you, we're giving you a movie. Also, like pink film, like from the 60s, was all black and white. So if you think of like Koji Wakamatsu, it was like even lower budget underground. Nikatsu's like, okay, erotic, a budget, color, a story.
Yeah, because like with yeah, Nikatsu again, it's just when it breaks down to it, it's just money. They had the money to do what they were doing, whereas like Toei's uh Pinky Violence or even their own films, their Pinku films, they had a budget as well, but they didn't really do as much. Like Nikatsu had the name already, right? So Toei was the second in like line, but they didn't have like the budget, the name behind them, the prestige, right? So yeah, it's it's all about money. It's okay. It's our cat is like kind of jumping around, so
No,
don't
I
mind.
love that. That's amazing. It's so
He's
real.
yeah, he's just like critiquing to us. He goes, "No, that's not what happened."
Yeah, it's cinema verite. That's what I say. It's very
Right.
real.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was that's like the basis of Nikatsu is just like money.
Okay, I
It's
got
like
you.
budget.
So I guess that kind of brings us to the Roman X line, where Woman in a Box arises. So their intention was to enter the adult video market or compete with it. Like, where does Roman X come in '85?
Oh yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Some people like that are already on Nakatsu's wavelength started doing adult video. So some of like the pink film guys, like Tadashi Yoyagi, like he was like, okay, I'm tired of doing, bargain bin pink film that you're buying. Like even by like 80, 81, he's like, I'm gonna do my own adult video company. Nakatsu was seeing that even in like 80, 81, Nakatsu was doing like live shooting titles. So they had straight to
Right,
video product that was just like shorts, like 30 minutes. And it's pretty much the beginnings of adult video. But like even back then, like a lot of it was kind of softcore.
Yes.
Like some most like they would be kind of masturbating or just showing like nudity, but still very censored. Roman X comes as like, okay, adult video is getting more and more extreme. Let's show it in a theater,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's even a weird process. If you've ever seen the movie Boarding House, like a horror movie,
yeah,
they would
from
take the
'81.
VHS, scene it
Yeah.
up to like 35 millimeter, which is insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like the first like shot on video that was like put in theaters, right?
Why
Yes.
not?
Yeah, so that's what Nikatsu's Roman X was like. Let's just kind of play along, right? They're kind of seeing what we can do, especially in the theater, right? Because like home video, you have home video, you put it in the VHS, you play it at home, right? Personal. Instead, they're like, let's just put this kind of style. So with even with Roman X, you get like adult, you get the home video aspect, and it looks so much different blown up, right? Because it's like, oh, it looks so weird. They still have a production behind it, which is really fascinating. With these, like, they look low budget, but they're still a big production. Or they have like a crew of like 10, 20 people, right? For like a really small, low budget looking film. Even with the live shooting, like with the live shooting stuff, the 30 minutes, or even like Woman in a Box, right? It is still like an in-house production almost, but it's all entirely shot on video.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, and then you get the other films too. Like there's some later Roman X that low budget, low budget. They had a camera and a dream.
Believe that they were showing these in theaters. Like, it's so crazy to think about that. Like shooting on like video and just who cares? We're still gonna put it in theaters. That's so crazy. Wow.
You're on your lunch break. Let's see a Roman X
Yeah,
Wow.
movie.
yeah, 'cause it's 30 minutes. Sometimes they were 30 minutes, and then some films are still pretty like pink film, like SAS, which is like 60 minutes or less, right? 50 minutes, 60 minutes. So you can like take an hour break and go see a pink
Oh my
film, get back to
god.
work, and feel refreshed.
So Woman in a Box was shown in theaters.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
I know. Imagine just walking in and you're like, oh, what's this one about?
Bring your family. I'm just kidding.
Wow. That's so crazy. Wow.
I
Okay,
mean, yeah.
so uh, go ahead. You're fine. You're fine.
No, no, no. I was done. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess kind of diving into the film, there's just some things. I wanted to mention the director of Woman in a Box, Masaru Kanuma, because
Hmm.
he's an interesting part of this too. Where does
Hmm.
he factor into Nikatsu and eventually get to direct Woman in a Box?
Yeah, so I mean, Kanuma was one of the people, like, he was an assistant director before Roman Porno, like, doing normal mainstream films. But, like, once, like, a lot of Nikatsu talent, once they did Roman Porno, were like, we're not doing this, right? If you think of, like, the actor Meiko Kaji, she's like, I don't want to appear naked in doing these films, right? So like they lost a lot of talent, but it led to like everyone who was left, and especially young directors like Kanuma coming up, like, okay, let's take it on. We'll direct Roman porno. We'll do it again. So like he does pretty well. Like his first big really hit for them is Flower and Snake. So he helps launch BDSM for Nakatsu. So again, we're getting like the ropes, the whips, the enemas, the storylines.
Yeah.
But then like he also goes mainstream too. Like some of his stuff from the late 70s and early 80s, they're like classy Roman porno based on pop songs. Like this is kind of like a return to form for him. Where like, okay, I'm gonna go back to BDSM, but also I'm gonna do the like help you launch this whole Roman X line. Like let's push it to insanity.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
TV
So
movies too.
Yes.
oh, TV movies too. Okay. So does that kind of fall in with the shot on video? Like you'd be sort of familiar
Yeah.
with it already?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like the look of it. Nakatsu is helping produce like TV movies that are normal, like they're not related to Roman porno at all. So like he was taking to that during this time.
Yeah, like some of his last films before he passed away were like really wholesome, very, normal like
He did a
video.
kids
He
movie.
did a kids movie. It was actually
It's really
it was
sweet.
really sweet, sentimental, and it was kind of like his almost like saying goodbye in a way. Like when you watch it, because like dude, I've seen most of like Kanuma's films from like Roman Porno. Dakota's seen more, right? But it's like you could see the journey as a director. You could see him where he started to where he ended up in the in between. Some directors at Nikatsu are good at BDSM, some are not. So it just depends, right? It's like what the script calls for, how the director sees, how to like light BDSM, how to shoot BDSM. It varies. It varies.
It
But
does.
I think
It
yeah,
does.
yeah, and I think for this film in particular, like it's just he said, let's just go, let's just balls out, let's just 1,000 miles per hour, see what happens, you know. And I think, and there was an interview saying that I think he preferred the second one, or am
Mm,
I?
well, no, I mean the second one is shot on film. Like they're like, okay, you did the shot on video one, let's give you one to do on film, right? But also this one's cool. Like if anyone's a fan of like Ringu from Japan, the director of Ringu, like this is movie he was the assistant director on for
Yes,
Woman in a Box. Like he's like, oh, I learned how to direct from this movie.
he learned from Kanuma, like for sure, how to direct like that enclosed, like very gothic style
He learned how to
film.
mix the enemas.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. What are your guys' thoughts on the sequel? Real quick, like if people enjoyed the first one, do you think like it's worth a
I like it.
go? Does it
I
stand
think the second
apart?
it's kind of like a retelling of the first, but just in snow. I'll just say that. Just think of snow, right? And then like the same kind of ideals, but for me personally, I think part one is like the better of the films of both films. But I think I've seen on Letterboxd there's some people prefer the second to the first, which is fine. It's just different vibes. But for me, the first is like it sets a different standard, and it's like probably one of my top five, like Roman porno or Roman X like films.
Wow.
'Cause- yeah, it's just like it's up there because it just takes what I love about like the Roman porno and then like BDSM and everything, and then also Kanuma as a director. It's just up there.
Yeah, I've only seen like 10 or 20 Nikatsu, and it's definitely my favorite that I've seen. Which like I know
Okay.
you guys have talked about that. Like, is that crazy to say that it's like one of the
Oh
best?
yeah,
But
I
like
know.
I really
I mean,
do. It's amazing.
it's not for everybody, of course, and we always say like you have to kind of build yourself up to get to Woman of
Artists
Box.
going raw, you know,
Oh
have
yeah,
fun
going
with
raw.
it. Like,
It just varies. Some people just can't handle because of like it's based on a true story, but then the director Nakatsu is like, oh, it's based on true story. Let's just make it even crazier and sleazier and more
it's
gross.
Lifetime like ripped from the
It's
headlines.
very Lifetime if you think about it, but like to the extreme, right? Because there's a Lifetime version of this film about based on a story, and it's not good. It's not good. It's from like 2000, probably 11 or something. It's like the 2000s version, and it's just not done well.
Mm,
Because they cut, parts and stories like Lifetime usually does. Whereas this film, they're like, they're just completely just like getting like the story and just ripping it and like we let like like let's just see what happens, right?
Let's do a musical number at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like probably the greatest song ever. I don't know
It
in a
is.
movie.
It kind of is. Um, let's see. Okay, so an interesting aspect of the film, I feel like, are some of the queer elements with the wife.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of wanted to ask about queerness in Pinku and I guess kind of in Nikatsu in general, because Woman in a Box has some explicit like lesbian sex in it.
Yes.
And I guess was that uncommon in Pinku at the time? And like, was it really only women loving women versus men loving men? I know this is 85, but yeah, it's just an interesting aspect of the film of like that how that kind of
Like
plays.
representation matters.
Yeah,
Yeah, like how
representation.
that plays into things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like lesbian sex is pretty common within the genre. Like even with like the launch of Roman porno, there's like a couple early lesbian films
Yes.
with it, right? There's one of the Sweden porno ones we
Yes.
did the video essay on. There's also like other lesbian ones.
Hmm.
There are like a surprising amount of like gay characters that will pop up, or also again, kind of more of like play the cross-dressing bar host, Mama the
Yes.
Bar. Something like we actually had a pleasure of screening Shinjuku Midnight
Mhm.
Story Man and Woman in LA, but it's pretty fun because like there's a queer trans character in a lesbian
Yes.
relationship, and then they go into like a peek into queer nightlife. Like sometimes like oh like the directors, I mean again, like I would assume most of these directors are straight, but they're kind of like weirdly in touch with like gay nightlife in Shinjuku
Hmm.
for random different films. There also is a film with a trans lead with
Yes.
like Maki Carousel from 74. So like sometimes like there's like oh like there's like more substance to the queer storylines than you'd expect where it's not always girl on girl.
Yeah, adding to that, I would say it's like, yeah, there's a lot more lesbian stories or there's characters. The gay characters, you would say the male characters tend to be just more of like supporting, but they're there, right? They're
Comic
usually
relief.
almost.
Or they're kind of like crazy. There's one like
They're,
Rape 13th Hour where it's
oh,
like men going crazy on each other.
yes.
And then there's also like Woman of the Afternoon in Sight where it's
Yes.
like there's a gay best friend and then all the men are like violating the guy at one point
Yes.
too. I mean,
Yeah,
equal
it's
opportunity, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
no, and
yeah, that makes
I
sense.
get that. Yeah, because like you see that, but most of the time they tend to be more of like a female-led stories, right? Most of the pink Roman porno, they happen to be more female-led, and then the men usually are supporting, but that's where you get like the gay pink films in the 80s and 90s where they're more central like leads and they have their own stories of, gay characters being like the sad gay or the evil gay or the, mostly twink, but but yeah, so I think that's like for Roman porno per se, it's like it's mostly lesbian, and then there's some characters. There's a lot of trans, right? There's some trans stories that do get, you know, uh, shine. They shine, right? So yeah, that's where it's interesting with queerness and Nikatsu for sure. But if anybody wants to know more about that, get the Blu-ray of Swedish. Was it Swedish porno?
Sweden porno,
Sweden.
desire for sex experience.
Yes, where
We
we
did like a breakdown of the queer history of like Nakatsu pretty
yes,
much.
and it was actually more than we thought.
Well, we already knew it was a lie.
But then when we were reading it out loud, we were just like, "Oh, that movie had it." And then we're like, "Oh," because again, we watch so much like pink film in general, so sometimes movies blur for
Thank
me.
you, Letterbox, for helping us remember some of
Letterbox is like
this.
helps us break down and like, "Oh yeah, that movie." So yeah, just a little plug there.
Yes, absolutely. Don't worry, I'm very happy for you guys to plug. Let's see. Here's something interesting I kind of want to pick into. So something I picked up on while watching, and you guys briefly mention it in your Two in the Pinku episode, and that's the guinea pig series correlation.
Yes.
Both Guinea Pig 2 and Woman in a Box came out in 1985. Technically, Woman in a
Uh-huh.
Box releases 1 month prior. Hiroshi Tamura is literally in both films.
Yes.
And just the general sadistic, like torture porn feel of both films. Is this purely coincidental, or like, do you think that these films kind of are a sense of maybe things to come, or like the tide changing in Japanese cinema?
I think honestly you're right too. It's like Nakatsu is sensing that there's a home video boom too. Like they were obviously aware of the first guinea pig by this point, right? So again, like they also reunite the woman in a box. Okay, so Seiko Kazuki, the lead girl of it, and then also Hiroshi
Hiroshi.
Tamura, they come back together maybe like 2 years later for like a Nakatsu adult video thing called The Ultimate Gourmet about cannibalism. So like Nakatsu's like aware of like, okay, guinea pig is successful. We need to bring these two back for another project.
There should have been more. I'll just say that. They should have been together more, you know. Because like, like that I think there was some correlations and maybe they were aware of what they were doing at the same time, but like I don't think they were like telling each other like, "Oh, hey, I'm working on this film. Oh, I'm working on this." I think it just happened, and I think that's like the most fascinating thing because how the parallels, and it has to do with the actor Hiroshi, like, and he's so like it's almost like the same performance, but then they're so different. It's very subtle where it's like as in guinea pig, he's like this gleeful kind of samurai who's like poetic and very like philosophical about his what he's doing, right? Whereas like in Women in a Box, he's just absolutely unhinged in a comedic way. He's very and almost goofy,
Yeah,
right?
he's very gleeful too, the way he's like smiling, like the physicality
Yes.
of it.
They're both physical performances, but they're so it's so varied. And I always tell people, I'm like, watch them both, or not at the same time, but watch
Why
one or
why
the,
not?
do a double feature,
Yeah.
right? And I think you will like notice like the similarities. There's some similarities, obviously, right? Because One in a Box feels like it's gonna go horror. It's almost watching like a snuff film, but then it's not because it's like it gets restrained. And then with the musical numbers, the part in the police station, and other little scenes that just kind of like in the beach scene to me is like a personal fave at that where that that beautiful like is almost like Jean Roland, very like sad and whispering like, oh, when she says my favorite line, I'm ready to die, and then she's just like the beach and then they're having sex. It's just so comical and so like beautiful, and then it's like everything else and at the end it's like she's back, you know
Yeah.
because that's like ultimate BDSM. It's like, you push your to limits and you're like, oh, I want more. So I think that's like, yeah. I think they're both beautiful films. I think somebody needs to do a double bill or like do a Blu-ray of both of them together.
Oh my God.
And it will do the commentary again for it because just be like crying over it. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
also fun to go back to this is like I think Dakota and I are the probably on Letterbox the one who has reviewed Woman in a Box so many times, rewatching it like 20 times, loving it every time. It's like, it's one of those films that just stay with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I wanted to say, let's see. I'm very
I
interested to know where
Unfortunately
Pinku.
sorry, like I have to dip out so you could finish with Dakota,
Yeah,
but
no
like
worries.
it was a pleasure talking with you. I have to get a phone call, so
No, no
thank
worries.
you. Thank you
Thank you.
everybody who's listening. Love
Sure we
Woman in a
are.
Box, wherever you guys are at.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. I guess I was interested to know where Pinku is today in history.
Ooh.
How has the internet changed things, and are Nikatsu still at it making Roman porno?
Nakatsu, not so much. Like they've done some reboots. Like if you've ever seen Sion Sono's anti-porno, like they've had random ones like, oh, let's rekindle the fires of the past. A lot of them aren't really that good. But yeah, Pink Film, the only studio that's like left is Akura Aiga. So if you've ever seen Daisuke Yamanuchi, like Girl Hell 99, like he's a horror director in Japan. He also does pink films for them. So sometimes like you'll get like pink film where like it does still lean into horror, and then they also do edits of it like the R18 edit that's like a RX rating for Japan, and then they cut it down to like a 15 rating. That's more of like, oh, we can sell this for, like digitally. It's kind of crazy.
I gotcha. Okay, I see. So um, like Pinku still today, is it just like pretty much entirely like become hardcore online porn like at this point?
You can still see it in person. They still have gay ones, so like those are kind of more the wholesome side of it, or they're kind of goofy dramas too. But yeah, like a lot of it's like there's only one studio left still making this, right? And the other ones are just kind of like selling off the back catalog. I mean, adult video is so huge in Japan too. Like that's its own like beast. Like I can't even imagine like getting into that. Like thousands upon thousands of films.
Right. All right. So maybe this is a more general, maybe philosophical question, I
Okay.
guess.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think about this a lot. What do you think the allure is for so many queer people to Pinku, and I
Ooh.
guess disturbing films and explicit films in general? Like, I feel like so much of the audience who will be watching this, and I see it through my letterboxes as well, gay people, lesbians, trans people, even asexual people loving Pinku. And I just kind of like wonder, like, what do you think the connection is there, and like why we sort of share this love for these types of films?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know. I also think like there's something really cathartic about like watching like scenarios like okay, like Pink Film has like office scenarios or teacher ones too. Like seeing it kind of like unravel or get destroyed, right? In a sense, like we get to see this illogical craziness where like, oh my God, the hospital, everyone goes insane. Like it's fun to see this as like a fantasy film or like almost like a horror thing. Like it's obviously not like our real lives. Like it's very cathartic to watch. Also, like, I don't know, I feel like, gosh, I mean, I guess like these films, like before I really got into it, I was watching a lot of like Jean Roland, who's super dreamlike, or Jess Franco. Like, there's something comforting and hypnotic about these films that, like, it's all like very visual, very music based, that to like, you don't almost need the dialogue or the plot. It's just the insanity of like entering this weird dream space.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's a lot of things. It can kind of be different for a lot of queer people,
Yeah.
like whether it's cathartic or sort of
They're
like
funny too. Like, there's ones that are like hilarious where it's like I've
yeah,
never like do the stuff they do visually. Like a pink film can have like a werewolf and special effects. Like they just would try anything. Like
you know,
it's like there's always something new.
very camp in a way, like something that we can really identify with. That's interesting. Yeah, I think like also with being queer, like we already like experience adversity. It's almost like it's cathartic to almost see it sometimes in film. It's like I don't know, maybe that's another level of it. I don't know. It's very interesting, and because Pinku has really swept up a lot of my watching. It's just, the more you uncover and discover, yeah, it gets so crazy, surreal sometimes, like the gothic stuff and Giallo homages. It's like there's so much to it to just really like fall in love with.
I think like my favorites, it's like I typically relate to like the women, which like most of these have like a woman as like the lead or like a woman kind of awakens. Like that adversity you're talking about, like they deal with so much in the film, but then like the best ones are it's like when like the leads like she still gets to have like power in a way or like kind of reclaim herself. For me, it's like the ones that have like more of like men as the leads or just a little like harder to get into. It's why I don't like, oh my gosh, the Angel Guts, High School Co-ed where it's like it's mostly just men being violent with like I don't know, I don't find that as like fun or interesting to like watch. But I guess some if someone's curious, like Sachi Amano, like the great woman director of this genre. She's like, okay, pink film would be, like not be possible without a woman. Like that's the core of the genre.
Okay, I gotcha. Um, Geez, I think that knocks out every damn question besides.
You're like, yeah.
Just for fun, since the
Okay.
marathon is a celebration of gutter trash art, I gotta know what are some of your favorite gutter trash art films? I mean, obviously,
Ooh.
Woman in a Box.
Yeah, obviously one in a box. I mean, it could be anything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Pinku or
I
not, it
guess.
does not matter.
Ooh, okay, non-Pingu. I was like, oh my God, like where's the stack? Okay, I guess if it is another thing like from Roman X, the Sakan series, where like two of them are led by a dominatrix, so it's like women interacting with other women, like being both sadistic and masochistic. They're really unhinged. Also very crazy because they almost do some John Waters things like in public where like, oh, we're gonna hang someone upside down from a building and then catch the crowds reacting. I find that fascinating. I guess like of Jalo, I think of like Jalo in Venice, right? Something really sleazy and weird. Like that's like trash.
That's one of my faves. Yeah.
Keeping it classy.
It is. That's one of my faves. It's like if I'm recommending like, okay, dipping your toes in. If you like New York Ripper, oh, you gotta go full head in and basically watch a porn giallo. It's so good.
So casual.
Um, well, that calls it there. How can the audience support you guys going into the future?
Oh yeah, I guess you can follow both of us on Instagram. So I'm Dakota Noot. Christopher is Caver83, but you can also follow us on Two in the Pinku. We're on Instagram and Letterbox. Stay tuned. There's definitely gonna be some fun stuff coming in the future. But yeah, again, just keep watching the films. Also, I'm excited too. Like more queer people, also more women should be watching these films too. That's what's so exciting about this. And it's also okay to hate them.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, I guess that is another element to queerness. It's like reclaiming it in a way of like, wow, yeah, reclaiming these old things and just like recontextualizing them, I guess.
Okay, speaking of these movies, so like back in the day, there's a gay magazine called Barazoku from Japan. There was used to be like guides in it or columns like talking about like how to hook up in the theaters that would play these movies.
Oh
So
my
like
gosh,
someone could use to like a woman in a box, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna meet up with some guy in the theater.
that's crazy.
I don't know if I would choose woman in a box to cruise for, but you know what?
We love that. That's so
Love
great.
that. That's caring.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you, and of course, thank you to Christopher as well for helping
Yeah.
out with this. Thank you. I'll call it there. Thank you to the audience for watching Woman in a Box. Hopefully, you
Like never
loved it.
again.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Too. Thank you.